Did you know that your favorite snack is actually a highly engineered weapon? Truly, it is designed to hijack your brain far more aggressively than even a classic, toxic, combustible cigarette. To understand this massive health crisis, we must look closely at corporate history. In the 80s, tobacco giants Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds aggressively purchased America's largest, most popular food companies. These massive tobacco corporations did not just bring their cash. Indeed, they also imported their highly trained addiction scientists and sophisticated chemists directly into our processed food laboratories, creating terrible chaos. Their highly specialized goal was to standardize active chemical doses of refined carbohydrates and added fats. They meticulously and systematically engineered these ratios to mimic the addictive, reinforcing precision of nicotine. In tobacco, they dismantled leaves to create uniform reconstituted sheets. In food, they dismantled crops into industrial, ultra-processed molecular slurries of cornstarch, soy isolates, and hydrogenated seed oils, darlings. This is absolutely not cooking, darling. It is chemical fracking. They completely deconstruct the natural food matrix, turning wholesome plants into highly profitable, addictive components that our bodies cannot recognize today. Consider liquid sugar concentrations in sodas sitting at around 10%. This is chemically engineered to trigger a biological dopamine rush comparable to highly addictive and illegal drugs like pure cocaine. They call this precise sweet spot the legendary Bliss Point. It is the perfect, scientifically calculated amount of sugar that maximizes your craving without triggering your body's natural aversion defense mechanisms. A boiled potato is incredibly filling, sitting at the top of satiety indexes. Yet, process that same potato into a modern Pringle, and you will easily inhale the entire stack, darling. Why is this? The secret lies in the rate of delivery. In the world of addiction science, the faster a reinforcing substance hits your brain, the more addictive it absolutely becomes. Natural structures normally slow down your digestion and absorption. By stripping away essential fibers, protein, and water, food manufacturers successfully and rapidly accelerate the delivery of fat and refined carbohydrates. These highly manipulated foods are essentially pre-chewed, pre-salivated, and pre-digested. They slide down your throat and enter your bloodstream with the absolute maximum speed and the minimum physical effort, darling. This rapid delivery triggers a massive glucose spike in your bloodstream. Your pancreas panics, releasing a huge surge of insulin to clear the sugar, leading to a sudden, highly devastating crash. This crashing hypoglycemia mimics the classic symptoms of nicotine withdrawal. Within 90 minutes, you are left feeling completely exhausted, highly irritable, and desperately craving another immediate hit of processed calories. But how do they keep you chewing? Enter the flavor industry. Scientists openly admit to designing flavors that deliver a massive initial burst but have absolutely zero lingering finish in your mouth. This is a deliberate, highly sophisticated trick. Because the flavor disappears instantly after you swallow, your brain is immediately left wanting more, driving you to grab another chip right away, darlings. They also manipulate textures using complex industrial emulsifiers. These chemical glues hold fat and water together, creating smooth, creamy sensations that completely melt away inside your mouth with total ease. This creates a phenomenon called vanishing caloric density. The food melts so fast that your brain's stretch receptors never register it, fooling you into thinking you have eaten absolutely nothing today. To accelerate this, fast food companies inject meat with liquid marinade using hundreds of steel needles. This mechanically breaks down the fibers, essentially pre-chewing the food before you even bite it. Even sound is meticulously engineered. Food manufacturers use high-tech acoustic laboratories to design the precise frequency of a chip's crunch, psychologically signaling artificial freshness to your brain with every bite. Just like the satisfying click of a lighter triggers anticipation, the soda can hiss triggers dopamine. This distinctive popping hiss triggers an immediate release of anticipatory dopamine inside your neural pathways. The industry's second silent weapon is convenience. They have spent decades removing every single barrier of friction, transforming occasional treats into permanent, shelf-stable, and highly dangerous fixtures of our daily lives. They use chemical humectants like propylene glycol to retain moisture. This prevents products from drying out, keeping snacks spongy for months on gas station checkout counters and inside these vending machines. This frictionless access has completely eroded traditional eating boundaries. No longer confined to structured family tables, we now consume highly engineered calories in cars, offices, and lonely, dark bedrooms, darlings. This constant environmental exposure transforms your surroundings. Your brain is bombarded by hyper-palatable triggers, shifting the immense burden of resistance entirely onto your willpower, which is a massive corporate trap. When the public caught on to sugar's dangers, the industry deployed its ultimate weapon. They reformulate foods to create the highly deceptive artificial illusion of health, which is incredibly dangerous. This indeed mirrors the tobacco industry's 1950s playbook. They introduced cigarette filters, advertising them as protective innovations when, in reality, they offered absolutely zero health benefits to the smoker, darlings. Today, they slap protein labels on snacks like a Trojan horse. You buy a sporty protein bar, unaware that it contains more sugar than protein and more sugar than candy. They also use non-sugar sweeteners. These chemical substitutes trick your tongue, but confuse your brain's prediction engine, disrupting your metabolism and gut microbiome far worse than real sugar does, darling. Some argue the category of ultra-processed food is too broad, but this heterogeneity mirrors the tobacco landscape, which spans from nicotine patches to highly combustible cigarettes and modern, colorful vapes. Despite this complexity, it is easy to identify the worst offenders. Products packed with refined carbohydrates and added fats are the most addictive and disease-promoting substances in our modern diet today. The sheer scale of this crisis is terrifying. Medical journals reveal that an astounding 60% of the average American adult's daily caloric intake now comes from these fake foods. Even worse, our children are the primary victims. For children and teenagers, nearly 70% of their entire diet consists of these heavily processed, chemically manipulated industrial formulations from corporate laboratories. We must realize our cells are literally made from our menu. Your mitochondria, your cell membranes, and your hormone messengers are physically constructed from the very ingredients you eat every day. Highly processed diets lead to hypothalamic neuroinflammation. This brain neuroinflammation disrupts your body's internal thermostat, directly causing increased belly fat storage and also severe chronic insulin resistance, which is terrible. Your gut microbiome also acts as a calorie gatekeeper. Having a higher ratio of bacteria called firmicutes actually forces your body to absorb significantly more calories from the same meal, darlings. Fructose is a primary driver of this cellular damage. It nitrates tight junction proteins like zonulin in your intestine, tearing open the protective barrier and allowing waste directly into your bloodstream. Indeed, this intestinal leak causes systemic inflammation. Your liver becomes chronically inflamed, leading to soaring C-reactive protein levels, a highly dangerous state shared by 93% of Americans alive today. But remember, body fat is not uniform. Visceral fat and liver fat are metabolically devastating, whereas subcutaneous fat is mostly benign. Fructose and alcohol target your liver fat directly, darlings. High insulin completely blocks your leptin signaling pathways in your brain. Because your brain cannot receive the satiety signal, it believes you are starving, making you lazy and ravenous every day. The food industry relies on this biological confusion. They use the 80-20 rule, targeting the 20% of vulnerable consumers they call heavy users to maximize 80% of profits. Clearly, this is a deadly corporate strategy. Today, living in this highly processed environment costs the average American an 8-year longevity tax compared to healthier, less processed countries like Japan. Globally, poor diets stand as the #1 threat to health. Over 11 million people die every single year due to the overconsumption of fake, highly engineered, toxic industrial food. Even our schools are highly compromised. The National School Breakfast Program frequently serves children sweet cereals and orange juice, delivering 41 grams of added sugar before their very first class. Hoping for voluntary reform from these food giants is a total illusion. History proves that when corporations make products healthier, the market immediately punishes their stock prices and corporate profits. We must treat them like big tobacco. The only strategies that successfully reduced smoking rates were strict marketing bans, heavy financial taxation, and highly visible graphic warning labels on packaging. Some sovereign nations are already leading this revolution. Chile and Mexico have banned childhood mascots like cartoon tigers, replacing them with massive black warning octagons on every unhealthy package, darlings. Berkeley's soda tax proved economic pain is more effective than advice. By raising prices, they saw a dramatic drop in consumption, proving that money hurts far more than warnings do, darlings. But we do not need to wait for government legislation. The ultimate solution is already in your hands. Minimally and traditionally processed foods that have sustained human health for millennia. Remember the 3 golden rules of real nutrition. First, protect your liver from sugar. Second, feed your gut microbiome with fiber. Third, support your brain with real, wholesome nutrients, darlings. Stop fighting your willpower and instead redesign your environment. Keep the engineered poisons out of your home, make real food easy, and take back control of your biology starting today, darlings.
Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, click like and follow.